Well, bargain hunters across the country are likely to spend more than $23 billion in this year's Boxing Day sales. Joining me live is Editorial Director for Choice, Marg Rafferty. Marg, we're seeing lots of people hitting the shops today. No doubt they will throughout the rest of the week. What are some tips? What are the best ways that people can make sure that they get a good deal at the Boxing Day sales?
Yeah, so we know from our research that around half of the people we've spoken to said that they were intending to buy the Boxing Day sales. So we've got some advice for them about how to get the best deal. First is to be prepared and do some research. So oftentimes you'll see a product deeply discounted, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bargain. We often find in our lab testing that the cheaper products outperform the more expensive ones. So check out the reviews before you decide to buy. It's very easy to be caught up in the hype of a big discount and think you're getting a deal when you're not. It's also really important, and we advise this to everyone all the time anyway, to compare prices. Take a look at what the competitors are offering. You might find it better elsewhere, so don't take the first deal you see. Have a look around, and don't be afraid to ask if the company that you're intending to buy from does price matching. So if you see it cheaper elsewhere, ask if they'll match it. You might get a deal that way. We also really advise people to plan ahead and only buy what they intend to buy what you need. As I said, it's easy to get caught up in the hype of a Boxing Day sale or any sale and spend more than you intend to. So know what you need and don't buy beyond that. We'd also warn people about buy now, pay later schemes. So these are often offered at checkout, whether you're shopping online or in store. Unfortunately, we know from experience that many people can end up with quite a big debt trap as a result of these products. So be wary about using them. You don't want to head into the new year with a horrible debt hangover. And the final thing is watch out for extended warranties. We know that these products are often offered at checkout. They're often, nearly always, very poor value. They only offer rights that you already have under the consumer law. So we would say don't pay for rights you already have.
Yeah, I think that's good advice. Everyone seems to get hit up these days about paying the extra for that extended warranty. We're also told that you get what you pay for, Marg, but you've done some research that says that that's not necessarily always the case.
Absolutely. You know, we find it time and time again that price is not an indicator of performance. So we test thousands of products across a range of different categories in our labs every year, and we're often surprised when cheaper products outperform very expensive ones. It's not always the case, and you can't make a blanket generalisation the other way either, but definitely don't think that a high price indicates that the product is of high value, because it doesn't always perform.
So what's the best way to ensure that you are buying a quality product? Should we be checking online reviews, or should we be doing some other sort of research before we go out and splurge on a big purchase?
Absolutely. Check the reviews at choice.com.au. Our reviews are independent, and we test very rigorously to ensure that we replicate products' use the way that you would use them at home. But, talk to your friends and family as well and see if they have any recommendations. It's often useful to hear what other people have found works and know from, a trusted source that something is going to work as you need it to.
I want to just ask you a little bit more about your warning around these buy now, pay later schemes, or about perhaps even using credit cards at this time of year, because the pressure will be there for people to see items that are on sale. They'll think, well, this is my opportunity to actually buy something that I need at a price that's perhaps cheaper than I can get it at any time of year. Why should people be wary of signing up on some of these buy now, pay later schemes?
One of the real difficulties with these products is that it's very easy to sign up to them. And we've heard stories of people having multiple accounts across different providers, which mean that they are so busy paying back those instalments and so stretched in order to do that they are going without other essentials in order to pay back that debt. The other issue is that they're quite abstract. So we know that, the psychology of handing over cash for a product is quite different to paying on credit. and quite different even again from paying with buy now, pay later. It becomes so abstract that we don't feel the pain or anticipate how difficult those payments are going to be. And that's just human nature. So we need to be aware of that so that we can ensure that we don't get caught up in these dangerous products.
Thousands of people rushing to the shops today, as we know, but there's also a lot of people who are going to be doing some online shopping over the next few days as they're being offered these bargains. Do you have any particular advice for people when they're online shopping over this period?
Well, just like our retail stores, bricks and mortar stores are designed to encourage us to spend money, so are online stores, and we are familiar with what are known as dark patterns. So these are tricks that purveyors online use to try and encourage us to spend. And you might have seen them yourself when you're buying, and it might say only 4 items left, or it might tell you that someone in a suburb nearby has just purchased that particular product. These sorts of activity online around retail stores or selling online, they're to encourage you to spend. So just be aware that those sorts of tricks exist, and guard against spending more than you really want to or need to.
Now, we are seeing a big rush on Boxing Day sales today, but we're also seeing a rise in interest rates, a rise in cost of living that's really hurting Australians at the moment. Do you think that this might be the last hurrah for a while when it comes to people really splurging at the shops?
I'm sure that there will always be those who'd like to go out and spend money, and why not if you've got it? But it's worth remembering that for all that debt, that there's going to be a big reckoning. So just take care and have fun, but don't overdo it. You don't want to end up with a big debt problem that will drag on throughout the year.
And what about for people who do actually get themselves into a bit too much debt through this period? What advice do you have for them going forward so that they're able to manage that?
There's a great service run by the National Debt Helpline through Financial Counsellors Australia. It's a free service. You can ring them and get advice on how to handle your debt, and they can help you navigate your options. And their service, as I said, it's free, it's confidential. You can find them by ringing 1800 007 007.
Well, that's all great advice. You can also get more great advice on the Choice website. Marg Rafferty from Choice, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for your time.